Welcome back, my friends, to the Derate the Hate podcast. I am Wilk from wilksworld.com, and this is episode 42 of our podcast. Tonight's episode, we're going to be talking about the 10 lessons that I will pass on to my children. At the Derate the Hate podcast, we're all about bettering the world one attitude at a time. One of the greatest privileges we have is raising children. I truly believe that. And one of the best things that we can do to better the world one attitude at a time is to raise our children right. So there's 10 lessons I'm going to talk about tonight in our podcast that I think are integral in making good people and making the world a better place. Which brings me to my two questions. What have you done today to make your life a better life? What have you done today to make the world a better place? Every day, I'm all about bettering the world one attitude at a time. Whether it's the day that I do this podcast or each day, I'm trying to do something to better my life. And one of the ways that I do that is the way that I raise my children. Okay? So when I think about the lessons that I want to pass along to my children, there's 10 things, and well, there's actually a lot of things, but these are 10 things that I've narrowed down that really stand out as key things that can make me a better parent and more importantly, make my children better people. Because I think one of the biggest and most important things that we can do as parents is pass better people on to the world to make the world a better place, right? So I'm going to dive right into it and start with number one. Number one, I've talked about a number of times on this podcast, and I will continue to talk about it because I think it is very, very important. Gratitude. Number one, gratitude is key to being a good and happy person. I don't believe it's really possible to be a good or a happy person without truly being grateful, without showing gratitude. So, lesson number one, be thankful and show it. If you're thankful for something, show it. Always show it. Number two, tomorrow is never promised. So if you love someone, show it. If you love someone, tell them, and tell them often. Tomorrow is never promised, and we don't know what's going to happen from one day to the next. You know, we talked about it in a previous episode that there will come a day in everybody's life, and most people, you know, will experience this, and a lot of times you never even know it. But there's going to be that very last time that you see each person that you care about, and I think it is so important. If you love somebody, if you care for somebody, express that to them. Tell them. If you love somebody, tell them, and tell them often, because tomorrow is never a promise, and you just don't know when it's going to be that last time you get that opportunity. So, lesson number 3, if you make a mistake, admit it. Admit you make your mistakes, take your lumps, and most important, learn from it. Learn from those mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes in life. There is not a single person that has ever walked the planet, except for one that I know of, that didn't make a mistake. And when you make those mistakes, it's very, very important that you, number one, admit that you made a mistake, and number 2, learn from that mistake. Learn from it. Don't repeat it. That's the best way we gain wisdom in our lives, is to acknowledge our mistakes, admit our mistakes, and learn from our mistakes, and then not repeat them. All right. Out of the 10 lessons, number 4, if you don't know, if there's something that you don't know, ask questions. You should never be afraid to ask questions. There's a lot of stupid questions, but stupid questions lead to knowledge as well, right? So if there's something that you don't know, instead of speaking up and guessing and sticking your foot in your mouth, ask questions. Ask questions and don't be afraid to admit that you don't know what you don't know. So that makes me believe, or makes me think about a phrase that I've heard several times throughout my life, and I've probably proven it more than my share, but it's better to remain silent and thought a fool than to open your mouth and remove all doubt, right? So again, lesson number 4, if you don't know, ask questions. Don't ever be afraid to ask questions. Number 5 is kind of the converse of that. If you do know, if there's something that you truly know, teach it to others, right? It's if you have wisdom, and you have knowledge, don't be afraid to share it with others. There's obviously going to be people who don't want and will resist when you try to teach them lessons. But if there are people willing to listen and you have knowledge that somebody else does not have, don't be afraid to teach it to others. Reminds me of another phrase that I've heard. To those who give freely, much is given in return. Right? So, the more that you're willing to share with others, the more that others are going to be willing to share with you. So, number 5, if you know, teach others. Number 6, and we're kind of buzzing through these, and hopefully I'm not going too fast. And if anybody wants a copy of these, just hit me up on wilk@wilksworld.com, and I'll be happy to send you this list. It's just a list that I've come up with out of things that I've seen. And if you hit me up at wilk@wilksworld.com, shoot me a message on any one of the social media platforms that we're on, I'd be happy to send this list out to you. So number 6, when you find yourself in a bind, and you will, trust me, you will always find yourself in a bind at some point in your life, admit it and ask for help before digging yourself deeper. This is also another one that I've learned the hard way. In fact, most of these I throughout my life have learned the hard way. And I'm just glad that I eventually learned them. But number 6, when you find yourself in a bind, and you will, admit it and ask for help before digging yourself deeper. That's a very important one. A very important one that I think most people learn the hard way. Number 7, if you do somebody wrong, for whatever reason, generally it's going to be because of some emotional tirade, haste, anger, poor judgment, whatever. But if you do find yourself or come to the point where you realize you've done somebody wrong, admit to it and apologize. Apologize for the things that you've done wrong. And most people at some point in their life will end up doing somebody wrong. And whatever the reason is, just apologize for it. It's the right thing to do. And it may never mend what you've broken, but when you've done somebody wrong, it's very important that you apologize for what you've done wrong. Make amends, or try to make amends when you've done somebody wrong. Number 8, if you fall and or fail at something, and you will, there's no doubt in my mind, everybody does it. You are going to fall at times in your life. You are going to fail at times in your life. But just remember, keep getting back up. Get back up. Keep trying. Do not quit. This couldn't be a more important lesson, really. Most failures, most falls are temporary, and just like most things in life are temporary. So when you fall, just keep getting back up. Keep getting back up. Keep trying. Do not quit. Number 9, when you're in a position to help, when you find yourself in a position to help, and then find someone in need of help, help them. Help them. It's when you help others, in many ways, it's as much about helping yourself as it is about helping them. And it kind of goes back to the what I talked about in number 5. To those who give freely, much is given in return. When you give help to others, you'd be amazed at how often that comes around. The phrase "what comes around goes around," or "what goes around comes around," whatever, comes to mind when I think of that. When you're in a position to help somebody, when you find somebody in need, help them. All right. So, and that's going to bring us to number 10. Number 10, when you see wrong, when you see something that you know is blatantly wrong, take a stand. Take a stand for something. There's a lot of wrong in this world. A lot of wrong in this world. And and all too often, there's a lot of people out there that just want to be left alone. They want to sit back and be quiet, but eventually there might not be a chance to take a stand anymore. And when you see wrong being done, take a stand. So along with that, I want you to remember, just because it's the latest fad or the cause of the day or everyone's doing it doesn't make it right. And just because nobody else is doing it doesn't make it wrong. You need to know your values. So when you see wrong, when you see something that you know in your heart of hearts is wrong, take a stand. Because just because everybody's doing it doesn't make it right. And just because nobody's doing it doesn't make it wrong. Know your values and take a stand. So those are 10 lessons that I will pass on to my children. Those are very important lessons that I think will make better people. I don't know. Like I said, if you want my list of 10 things I will pass on to my children, I'd be happy to send them out to you. Just hit me up or Wilk at wilksworld.com or send me a message on any one of the social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, MeWe, any of those for sure that you can get a hold of me and get a hold of me easily. And I'll get those sent out to you. I will. Follow us and share this with your friends. That'd be greatly appreciated as well. So with that, I'm going to dive right into a feel-good story that I've got for this week. This week, feel-good story is not necessarily about a specific good deed, but it's about an organization I just caught wind of recently that I think is very important. It's a very neat idea. And it started out of a tragic accident in 2000, just a freak accident in 2018. So the story actually is about a youngster by the name of Elijah Knight. And Elijah was a beautiful 14-year-old boy that wanted to solve all the world's problems. And a saying that he had come up with was, start everything with kindness and the end will be okay, which is, it's a beautiful phrase. It's a beautiful mindset. And unfortunately, back in 2018, young Elijah was at summer camp, and a storm blew in, and a tree fell and landed on a tent, and young Elijah was killed. Well, fast forward to today, or to more recent times, and Elijah's parents, in his memory and in his stead, want people to understand the legacy that Elijah wanted to leave and the kindness that he wanted to spread throughout the world. And they started this organization called Kindness to Action. And what they've done is they've put together some uniquely numbered coins, and you can actually go to kindnesstoaction.org, and I'll put the link to their site in our show notes. But you can go to the kindnesstoaction.org site and make a donation and get one of these uniquely numbered coins, and then you can register the coin on the map on their site, or you can gift the coin to somebody else, and then they can register it. And it's just a neat little concept. It's unlike anything I've really seen before. And young Elijah's legacy phrase, start everything with kindness and the end will be okay. I love that, and it fits so closely with what we're trying to do here. Kindness. Treat everyone with kindness, and again, like young Elijah said, if you treat everything with kindness, start everything with kindness, the end will be okay. So, I'm going to put the link to their show in the show notes, and or their page in the show notes rather, and check it out. Order yourself a coin, make a donation. I did. And I'm making my donation today, and I'll be registering my coin. So with that, I'm going to wrap up this week's show. If you did enjoy this episode, 10 lessons I will pass on to my children, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Subscribe wherever you get your audio. Share it with your friends. If you would, please leave a review. I greatly appreciate that. Follow us on the social media platforms. But more importantly, I want to ask you a couple questions. What have you done today to make your life a better life? What have you done today to make the world a better place? It is really up to you. We're all about bettering the world one attitude at a time. I'm hoping you got something out of tonight's episode that did just that. So when you get a chance, get out there, be kind to one another, be grateful for everything that you've got, and remember, it's up to you to make each and every day the day that you want it to be. So again, please follow us wherever you get your audio, subscribe, leave us a message, check us out on social medias, and leave us a message there, or email me at wilk@wilksworld.com. So with that, I'm going to back on out of here, and we'll catch you next week.